to the relationship between the Biden administration and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu now continuing to fray today. The White House canceling a high-level meeting with Israeli officials about Iran after Netanyahu released this video. You're seeing it there. Here it comes. That's Netanyahu claiming the U.S. was withholding military aid for Israel's war with Hamas. The White House press secretary saying yesterday the administration has no idea what Netanyahu was talking about. This back and forth playing out as concerns grow over Israel getting locked in another potential war as clashes with Hezbollah intensify along the country's northern border with Lebanon. That Iran-backed militia group now saying it's not ruling out sending forces across the border into Galilee in northern Israel. Yesterday, we learned Israel has approved operational plans for an IDF offensive into Lebanon if needed. Foreign correspondent Marcus Moore joins us now from Beirut, Lebanon. Marcus, Israel and Hezbollah seem to be inching closer to some kind of a conflict. What do we know at this hour?
Well, Jay, at this point, we know that the strikes have continued in southern Lebanon and in northern Israel, and that the concern is still there. It's ever present that each new strike might perhaps bring this region closer to a much wider war. And that is exactly what U.S. officials and others across this region don't want to see. But we have continued to hear the rhetoric, including a provocative speech today by Hassan Nasrallah, who's the head of Hezbollah, where he essentially threatened Cyprus, nearby Cyprus, if they allow Israel to use their airports for any type of operation or assistance in the event of a military offensive here. He also said in his speech that they have new weapons to fight with, and that they also have more intelligence on Israel than what they have laid out in that video that we showed you yesterday. So Jay, to answer your question, every day it seems like there's the potential that it is inching closer, but at this point all sides are still talking, and that means the fighting so far has been contained to that so-called blue line between Israel and Lebanon.
You talk about this idea of a wider war, and that is, of course, because Israel is already fighting a war in the south, in Gaza, with Hamas. Today, an IDF spokesperson said in an interview, quote, it would be impossible to destroy Hamas, quote, Hamas is an idea, quote, whoever thinks that it can be eliminated is wrong. That, as you know, Marcus, is somewhat of a contradiction because Israel has said it is fighting this war in Gaza to crush Hamas. All of that to say, would Israel be able to even do that if it was fighting a war on two different fronts in the south and then, of course, potentially now in the north?
Jay, I think there's 2 points there. Number one, certainly the spokesperson's comments could be and have been interpreted as a clear contradiction within the Israeli government and the IDF. But this evening they have updated that statement to say that the spokesperson was referring to their military goals as it relates to Hamas and their goal to eliminate their military capabilities, as well as impacting the government infrastructure and Hamas's ability to operate in Gaza. That is what he was referring to. So to answer your question, the belief is on the part of Israel that they believe that they can eliminate Hamas in that way, not speaking about an ideology, but rather their ability to carry out another October 7th attack or anything similar to that, and also their ability to try to govern Gaza the day after this war ends.
Marcus Moore up late for us. By my count, it's 9 p.m. there in Beirut. Marcus, thank you very much.